I am Sure Sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get your sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am Sure Sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am Sure Sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Nick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
All right. Good morning, and welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host, Management. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope everyone is doing fine. As usual, we always want to begin our program by giving thanks for the life that we have in the Most High God, the one who keeps us, who never slumbers and never sleeps. He's good all the times, and all the time, God is indeed a good God. All right. I'm going to read something for you as usual. You know, we want to read the word of the Lord because it is living and powerful, sharper than any two-edged sword. And this is taken from the book of Lamentations. It is chapter 3. And we're going to read from verse 22 to around 27. Through the Lord's mercies, we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore, I hope in him. The Lord is good to those who wait for him, to the soul who seeks him. It is good that one should hope and wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. It is good for a man to bear the yoke in his youth. I hope something from that would encourage you today in spite of what you are going through. Life comes with a lot of pressure, a lot of pain, a lot of trouble. In fact, it is in the book of Job. It says that man was born for trouble, You understand me? Yeah. But in spite of that, we serve a God who is willing and able to keep us if we anchor our hope and our faith in him. So you have reason to not give up. You have reason to keep on being diligent. You have reason to forgive. You have reason to still love people. If you're a father, train up your children in the way they should go, so that when they are old, they will not depart from it. If you're a mother, let that motherly compassion be affirmed in the life of your children every day. If you're a wife, submit to your husband. If you're a husband, love your wife as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for it. Be faithfully committed to your spouse. If you're a businessman, you have to keep on believing that God has plans to prosper you, give you a hope and a future. Good one, that is. If you are an employee, respect your master or the person who you work for. Do the right thing on the job. If you're an investor, don't just work for money, but begin to let your money work for you. Self-development demands self-discipline. You understand? Whatever you want to call him, your boss is your master in a CC. So let me give you the definition of the word master. So let's go to definition. All right? Meaning of master. Let's find the meaning for CC. A man who has people working for him. If you work for somebody, they are your master boss. So you work for somebody, CC, or you do your own business. It's okay to don't subscribe to a master. So don't turn up to work. Walk out of the office right now and don't go back until next week. CC. If you think you're bad, if you don't subscribe to a person being master by you who you work for, get up from your desk right now. Walk out of your office and don't go back until next week and don't tell anybody anything. And go back, just turn up next week, Thursday. At this said time. Do that for me, CC. Do that for me, CC. Get CC. Seeing that you have no master over here and subscribe to no master. Big bad ball, CC. CC, big bad ball. You have a mutual agreement. Seeing that you have a mutual agreement. You don't have no boss, you have a mutual. Get up and leave now. Because CC. Seeing that that is the case, and there's nobody over here, you own a boss, get CC. Not tell me about contract, not tell me about job, not tell me about who pay you. Get up from where you are right now. Leave and don't go back. And see if you get, leave it. Leave it, CC. Just get up right now and don't go back. Bet you can't do that, CC. Bet you can't do that, CC. Bet you can't do that, CC. If you're so big on board, bet you can't do that, CC. An assigned manager is a master, the person who rule over you in the department, boss. You are talking about different things. You're talking about a different thing, CC. So CC is very simple. Don't turn up to work when you don't feel like and see. All right? So, but CC, we're done with you. Let's move on. About this. Big up to man like Martin Baker. Big up to Eagle Republic. CC Sports Lab. Bless up. All right. Baggio. Bless up, you know. Yeah, man. Ernest Murray First man up, big up yourself. Listen, as usual, people, I invite you to just do a couple of things, right? Nitro, bless up yourself. What you mean? All of you who are talking about how Real Madrid is going to deal with me, please talk to me now. Talk to me now. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so CC. First thing, CC. Do you believe that the Bible, the words in the Bible are accurate, sir? First question. Do you believe that, CC? Do you believe that the words in the Bible are accurate, CC? First thing that, and then we move on. Yeah. So people, a couple of things you need to do for me right now. One, I want you to like the video right now. We have 50 people already with 11 minutes, 50 persons are on. Like the video. All right. Subscribe to the video. People keep on saying, boy, man, I don't understand. Look at your content compared to some content. No, we're not watching other people's content. You see, you, the people who are faithful to the channel, you just get others to subscribe. You be the promoter of the program. All right, boss, I'm going to use, you can't tell me, big up yourself, Richard Stewart. But I am going to use, I am reading the Bible. But can't replace the word in the Bible. All right, now, you see, what you need to free yourself from is mental slavery. So because slave masters, it used to be slave masters, we want to, so nobody, how Tiger Woods play in the Golf Masters. So we should just throw the word masters out of our vocabulary, because as black people, we had a generation of people that were once under slavery. Boss, I am a servant. The scripture teaches that if a man want to be great, he must be the least, right? He's a servant of all. I am a servant, boss. I'm a servant to higher calling. I look to serve my sons. I look to serve my daughter, my wife. I serve my family. I serve the people at the church, boss. I'm a servant. And I have a master, boss. So not because people were once under slavery, because all who have a problem with master, them don't have a problem with the people who are formerly slave masters, because the whole of them want to go England and then support Team of England and them support all of the English things, but them have a problem with the word master. CC, relax yourself. You can't challenge me on this, CC. So let me go and give you some Bible, CC, because the Bible we are dealing with, CC. Bible we are dealing with, CC. When we are talking Bible, yeah, I'm going to give you a thing about master, because the word master, in fact, in scripture is also translated, CC, as Lord, our teacher. So, you right, CC? If then I, your Lord and teacher, your master, have washed your feet, also you should wash one another feet. You want me to give you more, CC? Sure. All right. Richard Green, Liverpool forever. All right, all man like Richard Green with a bonfire upon my Arsenal. Talk to me now. Talk to me now. Yeah. Big up to Arsenal. Rice, baby, Rice. Where is behind the scenes? Always beating Declan Rice. Where are you? Always beating Saka. Where are you? Declan Rice don't work. This guy Caicedo better than him, and this person better than him. No, the squad is not named yet for the Unity Cup Eagle Republic, but you just saw there was a press release from the media. I think I'm going to have Simon on at around 12:10. So at that time, we will be able to ask him a little bit about the Unity Cup. All right. So I'm going to speak on the social matter. All right. Yeah, I'm going to speak on some social matters. Before I let me see if I can do this now. Having some, yeah. So social matter that I want to talk about. So as of recent, I think you would have noticed that the numbers for murders and stuff in Jamaica, in almost every police division has fallen astronomically. Very good thing. I don't feel like people feel safer, but in terms of, there has been inroads made in terms of the level of crime and violence. We generally see a lot of that the police, through their intervention and work and the Ministry of National Security, a lot of that has, I would say, decreased. But I don't think people feel any safer now than they felt, for example, last year. All right? I don't feel like there is any... Jamaica is a safer space because we have less killings. All right? However, it's the in terms of what you call confrontation between our law enforcement and persons who, from reports, have all been involved in criminal activity, those numbers have gone up as well. I think we are close to 100 in terms of persons who have died just in confrontation with the law enforcement officers in Jamaica. So I know a lot of people are saying, well, have we decreased on one side, but no, we have increased on the other side? The truth is that in a society, any society that is plagued by such high levels of criminality, you're going to have a lot of confrontation with the police, all right? And with that, of course, then the officers, for the most part, I think, will come out on the winning side of those battles, because obviously they are well trained, or they are better trained, and all of that. All right. That being said, I think we need to really look at something that I think we have not paid a whole lot of attention to that is happening. So while I support the work of the police, when you start seeing like 15 and 16 and 17-year-olds who, for the some part, people will tell you, boy, they will say to you, boy, Mannings, man, if you know, so them a youth here, them a look a boy, but them a killer street. We are talk about Mannings, then youth a catch you, them heartless and all of that. I understand that. However, there has to be a higher level of professionalism where our police officers deal with matters. Criminals are dealt with, and if they confront the police, then they're going to lose. But at the same time, there are oftentimes, I believe, where persons who are not involved, they probably never, committed murder, nothing like that. And what happens is that because of association, sometimes because of just timing. They are at the wrong place at the wrong time. They end up being caught in this crossfire, and then all of them are dubbed as criminal. But when you check the record, there's nothing to say. No, even some of the hardened criminal, they can't find anything, you know. But some people have never been on the, like, there was a 15-year-old recently who was just out of school because of how he used to have his pants tight, and he died in a confrontation. And the record would show that people were saying that he has never been involved in anything. Of course, that is what families and friends will say. So you have that. So I'm going to also look at something else, because this is now something that was brought to my attention. All right. There is also, as of recent, there has been a lot of accidents with like Crowns and Markex and Bemon, BMW, and a lot of them are young people, and you have 3 and 4 of them dying. One was recently in St. Mary. And so here's what is happening. I think as a society, and this is where I'm going to come to this issue that I want well-thinking Jamaican to think about the point that Management is making, that we have become so callous as a society that there is even no outcry, you know, about some of the people dying from criminals or from law enforcement. The outcry like has subsided a whole lot. People don't talk about it. The other side to that is that when we have these accidents and people die, the first thing I hear coming out is they are scammers and criminals, and that is the reason why they have the car that they have, and are just evil money that led to them getting the car, and therefore that is it. So there's a recent story that I know of, and where all of you did, his mother needed something. He took his father's car, one of those high-end vehicles, and he was on his way with his friends to get it, and they crashed and died. And people immediately said, well, because of the kind of car and young people were in it, they are scammers, and that is why they were driving that type of vehicle. Because there's a callousness about society that we can't even say, oh my God, 4 young persons died, 3 young persons died, 2 young persons died. Immediately, when some of us hear that a 15-year-old was, you say, yes, criminal, right? If we see a confrontation and the person faces bleach, we say, yes, they're a criminal. If we see them and their pants are dropped down to their waist, yes, they're a criminal. If we see them and they're driving some vehicles, whether we believe it's theirs or not, we say it must be criminal, it must be scammer. And so there is this idea that any young person who doesn't look like, quote unquote, us, they are criminals. So we have the stereotype in our communities and societies has like crept in and crept across that if you look a particular way, you are a criminal and there's nothing good about you. And we have to kill that narrative. I am saying that there are some criminals who look that way, but there are law-abiding citizens who want to carry themselves that particular way. And we have to pay attention to this, because here's what's going to happen. Just imagine if your son one day goes to school, meets a friend, and on his way, he's standing beside that youngster. And because he's standing beside that person, he faces whatever, and he's killed. And you could not convince people that your son is not a criminal. It could be your son and my son. It could be your daughter and my daughter. And then what people would say is that obviously they are criminals by association. So CC and I, we have never linked up. So imagine now I meet CC at a game and me and CC are reason. All of a sudden everybody said that I am Comedy Central as well because of my association with CC. But it is not so. It is not so. CC is Comedy Central. I am management. So while we must support our law enforcement in the engagement of criminals in our communities and country, we have to also set high standard for our law enforcement in terms of how they engage people. Like I would say, I've never had like those kind of confrontation with law enforcement because of how I am as a person, and I'm not engaged in illegal stuff, right? I think I've seen too many like things on social media where just given what I have seen, I don't see all the details possibly, but just how the engagement is like there's no longer respect for our law enforcement and there's no respect for people as well from law enforcement. So law enforcement is now so petrified because of the level of violence that if you raise your voice, it's going to be a confrontation. If you ask question, there's going to be a confrontation. It could get physical. Somebody could die because law enforcement is so petrified because of all this stuff. Community are so fearful of dying that they just believe that if a police says, hey, stop, it is the end of their life. So they feel like, how am I going to survive? No. What must I do? The society cannot operate like that. Cannot. We have to lift the standards. And so I want to talk to the young people. Listen, as much as possible, stay away from criminal activity. And I want to say to the law enforcement boss, listen, treat every citizen right until you have enough reasons to operate differently. The ball of my ball of Stewart look like a 87. What? Which one am I ball of that? What's his name? Look like a 87. Yeah? Lie. Yeah? Let me put up this one. I wonder which one I'm a ball of this. Let me just read some of these comments. Yeah, man, we're going to have Simon on. Yeah. So, people, if the police stop you, know the law, right? If they ask for papers, you know you don't have nothing to hide. Show them your papers. You understand me? Just do that. And police officers, because I have a lot of police officers who are part of my church and just friends who have been in the force, family members, right? Who are law enforcement officers and thing. And so I'm saying that remain professional in all your conduct. But this whole thing is crazy. Just you know, yeah, just how Jamaica is, like everybody's on edge. Everybody is on edge. So kids are at school, they're on edge. Everybody's on edge. See, somebody says it happened to my daughter. And I mean, let me see this one. All right. So Granny used to tell me, show me your company and I show you who you are. So mind who you keep as a friend. You know what? There is some truth to this. All right. So and some of it is not, I don't agree with. All right. I'm going to tell you why. Because you may be wondering, why would Management agree with this? I agree that association is important. So we can go Bible, you know. Judas was a sellout and Judas was a you know, after money, and Jesus and Judas hung out, but Jesus was not like that. Yeah? You remember there was a story about Jesus and the woman at the well, where the disciples them say, yo, master, what you do? What you do? If you ever sit down with this woman, people are going to talk about how you this and how you that. Not because a person is have the appearance, let me say, have the appearance of a criminal, makes them a criminal. And not because I am talking to them makes me a criminal. All right? So let me say this to you. Part of my work, because I'm a pastor, and so part of how I engage a lot of people, like we were in a community Sunday. All right? And in that community, we were giving out cards to invite people to church and talking to people. Yeah. All right. So this is one of the one of my real G, you know. See, you know all of my name them. Yeah, that's it. You understand me? Big up! What you mean? What you mean? My food. Oh, Manchester United. Not going to touch. I'm escape on. Right? So let me say this, right? So for me, the people would not, they were sitting at a bar, smoking, and they were drinking special on the Sunday. And I'm out there with the church people. Now, there were a lot of ladies from the church, and they kind of, it's a bar, they kind of give them the card and walk away. I sat down with those people, played a couple rounds of domino with them, and then invited them to church. So does that make me an alcoholic, a weed smoker? Does that make me a criminal? Because I don't know that they are. Does that make me a person who hang out at a bar? So once I stand up and talk to someone who may be doing wrong in their private life. So if I see a person, say, who have different sexual preferences, let's put it that way, and they engage me in a conversation, does that mean that I am just like them? Like, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. So nothing is 100%, right, Rob? But we make it 100%. How do we make it 100%? Because too often, if we see people hanging out with others that look a particular way, we assume that all of them must be criminal. And it is not always the case. But instead of giving people the benefit of the doubt, we put them in the box first. And after we put them in the box, and then when the final outcome, and maybe they die, we look at it. Your son, your daughter could just be hanging out with somebody that they don't know nothing illegal that they're doing, you know. Your daughter and your son don't know, you know. And they just decide, you give them permission to go somewhere, to go to the library, and their friend pick them up, and they crash, God forbid, and die. And everybody says, your son, your daughter was a criminal. And that is why they crashed and died. And listen, on YouTube, on this very platform. So if we are going to use this, let me use this again. Again, if you're talking to somebody who practices, right? Let me put it this way. If you talk to someone who have different sexual orientation, does that make you like the person? No, boss. Just like hanging out with rich people don't make you rich. If every day you hang out with rich people, it don't mean that you're rich, boss. So this idea of show me a company, tell you know who you are. So the gardener who lives and spends time around the rich people is rich? No. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. While there's a little level of truth with it, meaning that if we're going out and stuff and blah, 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 that's a different thing. If we're doing the same activities, that's a different thing. So when your grandmother used to say that, your grandmother said, if every day you and them money go up people yard and you do them things there together, then something is wrong. But having regular conversations with people and even spending time with them don't mean that you're like them, boss. And we take too much of these things what Granny used to say. What Granny used to say. Stop that nonsense, but you condone these. What kind of behavior condoning? Your fan club. Sometimes I wish some of you would show your faces, because sometimes I believe on YouTube, by being on YouTube with some of the nonsense, it means that everybody on YouTube is an idiot. So you have a company that you're at the company, you work and you talk to everybody, and the owner of the company have a different sexual orientation than you. That means that you are that? Is Jamaica alone think like that? This is the level of our thinking. A person can hang out and probably have 5 interactions with Bill Gates. Does that make them a computer wizard and a billionaire? Come on, people. It must be more than that. It's when we begin. It's when it's more than that. It's when actions and all of those things. Boss, listen. Let me give you an example. And one of my other friends was just here. And he called me by name. Let me say this to you. I grew up in a garrison, hang out with people who curse bad words, smoke, party, drink, get drunk, womanize, and ask any one of them. I played on the football team with them. We got church. When we sit on the banks, we sit together. We play dominoes together. We used to play cricket in the street, run in the gully together, and ask them if they ever see me smoke. Ask them if they ever see me drink. Ask them if you ever see me smoke. Ask them if they ever see me drink. Ask them if they used to see me go party. Have a whole heap of woman and them thing there. Ask them if they see me drop out of school. So that means that everybody who lives in a garrison and associate with garrison persons are all criminals and thieves, because the company in our garrison community, they are prone and known for criminality in Jamaica, most of them. So every person in a garrison is a criminal if it is our company that determines how we are. On a stop talk nonsense what grandmother used to say. On a grandmother used to tell them about Doppia Fallon and all of them things there. When them used to say, but then you're rolling calf and all of them madness. When them used to say banana leaf. Tell them, my brethren. 100%. So I know them people are come tell me nonsense. Big up here, my friend. Come on, know them people here I talk about. Because you live in a community, because you live around the people, them, you're like the people. But grandmother used to say, no, stop the nonsense. It's more than nonsense grandmother used to talk. But when rain a fall and sun a shine, God and Satan a fight. Man, I'm not stopping no nonsense. I'm going to start bringing us on a nonsense that old people used to say. Anyways, we're going to talk to Simon and we're going to come back to this. Hit the like button, subscribe and share. You're a fan club. Big up yourself. I want to beat you see. But no, but here's the thing though. But Rob, isn't this the problem? That because of what old people used to say, it is flipped. People believe that 98% of people who live in garrison are criminals. because that is what they're associated with. And that is the association in the garrison. People, a lot of what them people say, call your grandmother. No, boss. Howard Jackson can't kick me out of school, man. I want to ask Miss Wagstaff and Miss Boss, you're mad. I was a model student. What you talk about? All right. But we have, listen, I'm going to come back to this conversation. But we have Simon. Simon, welcome to I Am Sure Sports. Listen, how would you say that you're like financially like you're rich? You know what I'm talking about? Like, you know, in Jamaica, like, you know, you have some rich families like the Mahfoods and the Matalan, right? You're rich. Would you say that you're rich? Because a lot of rich people you hang out with, you know, you go to rich people school, you know. So I expect you to be a richoneer, you know, Simon. Not a millionaire, a richoneer, you know. Talk to me.
I wouldn't say the same stratosphere. I would say I'm rich in my heart. In terms of what the bank account might reflect, it might not be to the same degree. But I give God thanks for all the blessings, frankly speaking. So That's how I respond to that. Oh yeah, I've heard it all, you know. Because of my complexion, I'm not Jamaican. I've heard it all, honestly. I've heard it all.
Right. So Simon, so if when I look at your company, I can tell who you are. I look at the people you hang around with, Simon. You're a millionaire, yeah. Simon. You're a millionaire, Simon.
Yeah, but Jamaican dollars
is telling lies. You're a millionaire and hiding it.
But a millionaire in Jamaican currency, you know, is not a lot of money. You're fully aware of that. Being a millionaire in Jamaican currency is not a lot of money.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. All right.
Yeah, I've heard it all. How you should speak, how your complexion should be. But yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. It's a lively discussion, so I'll do my best to be to the point with the information so that the comments can be more engaging going back to that discussion.
That you're a thousandaire. Jason Good say you're a thousandaire. Yeah. So people listen.
In US dollars?
Yeah. Listen, I love my grandmother, my late grandmother, but trust me, a lot of things them used to say, they're not really, you understand me? They were good for the time, but when you really reason them out, they don't make sense. Honestly, we know that, you know, we know that hanging out with people don't make you like them. Not because you spend time with people mean that you're like the people. It doesn't mean that. But let's talk a little bit a Gold Cup draw, Simon. The Gold Cup draw is today, 6 p.m. Jamaica time.
That is correct, sir. And for our fellow Jamaicans, they don't need to break their neck trying to get a VPN because it will be on CONCACAF's YouTube channel, 6 o'clock Jamaica time. It will be on CONCACAF's YouTube channel. And be patient with it, folks, because, you know, when you have a draw, you have the, you know, customary things that start off opening remarks, and you have the moderator that introduces who will be putting their hands in the different pots, etc., and the procedures. So be patient with it. So yes, while 6 o'clock it will start, in terms of when we'll know who will be in Jamaica's group, will be close to 7 o'clock. So what I would say is be patient with it, as they have to introduce the 16 participating teams and get feedback from the draw assistants as well. So yeah, we're looking forward to it this evening, and I know folks will have question marks in relation to who Jamaica can face, could face, and all of that jazz. But it's an exciting time to look forward to as we build towards the summer for sure. And I'm happy to get into the different pots whenever you're ready, Mannings, man.
Yeah, right. All right. So 7 p.m., which is 6 p.m. Jamaican time, right? The official guest. And I mean, a couple of persons, you know, have some contacts in the Caribbean, and they are saying that when they look at the names, right? You have Jorge Campos, the Mexican goalkeeper, Marcelo Balboa, the former American player, Dwayne De Rocio, the Canadian, Blas Perez, the Panamanian, Those are the
Yeah.
4 persons who will be like the special guests, right? So no one
Right.
from the Caribbean. All right.
Well, go ahead. Yeah.
And is it because they use one person from one of the top 4 teams? Is that how they normally do it?
Is that how it's normally done? No, but this is just a new thing that is being done this year where the top 4 seeded teams, one representative from each of the 4 seeded teams. So I wouldn't say this is something that is regularly done, but this is something that is done for this year in particular. So it's basically down to the Conquer of Competitions department in terms of who they want as the draw assistants for the draw itself.
Yeah, because they
in
have
ter-
Anna,
Go ahead.
Eureka, Alejandro, Berry, and Maria Ramsharak from Sportsmax. I think,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, Mariah Ramharak, she will be one of the moderators for the draw. As we know, born in Trinidad but lived the last 5-6 years in Jamaica. Her sister also represents the West Indies women's team, Karishma Ramharak. So, yep, she's getting herself prepared right now. It's virtual, so it's not that people will be physically there. It's virtual, so we'll see it online, in Miami, and yeah. Have we had Jamaicans do draws before? Yes, we actually had Bibi Gardner, and Bibi is the reason why we're in a group with DR, Domrep, BVI, and Dominica. It was actually Bibi Gardner and Alexis Nunes the reason why we're in that group. So we've had Jamaicans being involved in draws in the past, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you have to be careful, Nona, because when you say Jamaican involved in draws, you know what I mean? These people have a funny way of interpreting things. But before we get into the pods and thing, Duklan is saying, Simon, do you think some of these draws that take place over the world are rigged?
I can't speak about that. No, just to answer his question, no. It's quite simple. What you do in the past affects the present, and what you do in the present affects the future. So it's just about the points, in terms of the quality points and those aspects, which is why you have USA, Mexico, Canada, Panama as the 4 seeded teams, and why we're going to be able to face one of those 4 teams in the group stages of the Gold Cup. So that's the reality of the situation. Had we, say, defeated the United States in the quarterfinals of the Nations League, then perhaps we would be having a different conversation right now. But it's all down to the raw numbers of things. And that is why, these rankings are so important as we head into World Cup qualifying, as well as their further implications there. But yeah, we know for sure we won't face Honduras, Costa Rica, or Haiti in the group stages. And we know for a fact we will face one of USA, Canada, Mexico, Panama.
In the group, right? And just to let people know that it is 2 teams that will come out of each group.
That is correct. Yep. So 4 groups, 4 teams in each group. Top 2 in each group will advance to the quarterfinals of the tournament. There's no third place playoff, just like 2 years ago. So it's quarterfinals, semifinals, final. No third place playoff in the Gold Cup. We haven't had a third place playoff in quite some time, to be fair. So
right. And there are 4 pots, and there are 4 teams per pot for the draw today.
Correct.
All right. And so pot 1 would have USA, Canada, Mexico, and Panama.
Correct. Yep,
all right.
That is correct. The only thing we know for sure is that, let's say that we're drawn to face Mexico, and if it is to be the opening game of the tournament, that match we know will be in SoFi in LA. So tonight we're going to get the groups, and early tomorrow morning we'll get the venues, so our fellow Jamaicans across the world can start planning their affairs and their travels for the summer, if we're going to LA or Vegas or Vancouver, etc. So Jamaicans can start making their planning and arrangements there. But all we know for sure is the opening game of the Gold Cup will be in LA, and the final will be in Houston. So that is what we know at this point in time. But tomorrow morning we'll get further information in relation to, Jamaica will be in Vegas, or Jamaica will be in Vancouver, or Houston, or Minnesota. We'll get that tomorrow morning. So we'll look further for. Yeah.
All right. So we can safely say one of these. This is how they'll go. One group will be Mexico as the first team. One will be USA as the first team. One will be Canada as the first team, and then one will be Mexico as the first team. Then they get to the second pot. The second pot has Jamaica, Costa Rica, Honduras, and El Salvador, Haiti. And Haiti. All right. So that means that that is why Jamaica could be in a group with Canada, Jamaica could, or Mexico, or Panama, or the USA. So
Correct.
it's yes. And then the next group is the El Salvador, Guatemala, Trinidad, and Suriname. And then you have Guadeloupe, DR, Curacao in the final part. Yeah. So yeah. I know people are putting up. I see somebody says my dream group. Marlon says USA, Jamaica, El Salvador, and Guadeloupe.
Interesting.
I think, I don't know if he's trying to do that, so hoping that Jamaica would avoid the USA in the quarterfinals. I don't know. Yeah, but is there, I mean, it is, that is possible. Yeah, that is possible. But I just feel like how these things are at the end of the day, no matter where Jamaica was, there would have been, because if Jamaica were in the top 4, then it is possible that a Panama could have still been in Jamaica's group, or a Canada if they were not in there anyways. So it's almost like the amount of team is so small that you'll always have 2 of the top teams in most of the groups from CONCACAF anyways.
Yes, you are going to find out, based on how the competition is formatted and the 16-team format, that's exactly how it is and how it has panned out. The only, you could say, variable that we're perhaps not familiar with is the Saudi Arabia element, of course, not a CONCACAF.
Right.
That's the only element that you could say is something new to us. Saudi Arabia has a World Cup qualifier June 11, and they're going to have to make the journey from the Middle East over to North America. So yeah, that's just the one unpredictable element that we're going to have to wait and see if Saudi Arabia are going to be using that to continue their World Cup preparations, or are they using the Gold Cup as an opportunity to give to look forward to the next cycle of 2030 and 2034 when they host the World Cup. So we're just going to have to wait to see how that unfolds. But yes, absolutely, I agree with you 100%. I've seen a number of persons say that for them, a kind group for Jamaica would be Canada, Jamaica, Trinidad, Guadeloupe. So it's interesting to see the different groups that people want to see. Of course, that will all be unfold later this evening. But yeah, it's great to see persons having the interaction already to see the potential of what lies ahead this summer. So yeah, eagerly looking forward to it. And as you know, Mannings, as an opportunity for the players to be together for over a month when you put in World Cup qualifiers in the mix. So at least the technical staff can have a firmer grip on the players, know what they're like, test out a few things. So it bodes well being in the competition.
Yeah, and you just brought up Trinidad, and I know that you put out information really the Unity Cup, which is a competition that will be played before the Gold Cup. But you said that one of the favorable groups is one person put up is a group that includes Canada, I think Guadeloupe, Trinidad, and Jamaica. That would mean Jamaica and Trinidad would have to play, and there is a Unity Cup. But there, what are the provisions in the rules? Because there's a part of the rule that clearly states that 2 teams in the same zone cannot play like a friendly game like before the start of the tournament. I know there is also the whole location of the game, but outside of that, I think there is like permission has also can be granted. Like the organizers of the competition could basically give a federation permission for a game to be played of that magnitude.
Yep, that's correct. So Rule 13.3 of the Gold Cup regulations speaks about not being able to play against a team that you're in a group in. However, 13.2 speaks about special communication. You can ask a request from CONCACAF. So after the draw, that is when the management staff can be able to speak to CONCACAF and then be able to work from there. So after the draw, the respective managers reach out to CONCACAF to speak about this, and then we certainly take it from there. So it's a matter of wait and see to see how the draw goes, and then from there being able to make decisions from that standpoint. So yeah, we just wait to see how all of that unfolds for sure.
Why so many of the games are on the West Coast for the Gold Cup? Is it the Mexico factor?
The Yeah, the reality this year it's because the FIFA Club World Cup is taking place simultaneously. So the Gold Cup is June 14
Oh,
to July 6, and the FIFA Club World Cup starts June 13 on the East Coast. That's New York, Atlanta, Miami. So they've specifically set it for the East Coast to accommodate for the time zones of Europe. Because if they set it on the West Coast, then people are going to have to be up late in England, France, Germany, 11, 12 at midnight. So they're doing it to accommodate the time zones of the European market.
So isn't that
So
you don't think like that will affect the crowds for the Gold Cup? Though it's different coasts, like maybe people would make the journey from the east to the west to watch the Gold Cup. Now we'll have an option of just staying in the east and watch like Man City play and Barcelona play or Messi. You know, imagine Messi going up against Barcelona, Inter going up
yeah.
against Barcelona. Would people, you understand me? Wouldn't people want to even leave the West Coast to go all the way to the East Coast to watch that kind of a game? And wouldn't that affect some of the attendance at the Gold Cup?
I think that from a Mexican and American standpoint, I think we'll still have close to capacity stadiums, or the other participating teams. Then certainly that is a reason of concern. We certainly hope from a Jamaican standpoint. Of course, we know of the large sector of our diaspora being on the East Coast in North America, but we will plead with them to, of course, make their way west for the tournament, and certainly hope that they'll be able to do so. But to answer your question, for Mexico and the United States games, I don't find an issue where that is concerned. But the other participating teams, then yeah, that will be a concern. So, for example, and this is by no means any disrespect, but if you put a game in Minnesota between Guadeloupe and Trinidad, I'm not expecting 30,000 people. Minnesota is not an area that is known for a Caribbean community. So, yeah, so you do have to be strategic in terms of the venues and which team in certain areas. But, it's up to the CONCACAF competitions department to do their work.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like Jamaica most of Jamaica's games have been like Midwest, West Coast. We haven't really played on the East Coast like an official game in a while. And I think like that is the area that Jamaica would garner the most support. Like Philadelphia, New York, even in DC, that kind of an area. And I'm wondering if the organizers look at this in strategically picking the venues for the games. What we know is that wherever Mexico play, they're probably gonna have a sold out stadium, and probably the USA as well. And I would say like El Salvador.
If it's in Texas, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it is in Texas, then I definitely in El Salvador will certainly have that level of support. So yeah, it's just about patience from the CONCACAF competitions committee to follow up on those aspects. But yeah, when you do look at the venues, just to recap it, you have Vancouver in Canada. Yes, you do have some Jamaicans that are there. And the venues that are in the US: Arlington, Austin, Carson, Glendale, Houston, LA, Minneapolis, Vegas, San Diego, San Jose, Santa Clara, and St. Louis. So that's the recap in terms of the venues for the Gold Cup this summer. So in terms of areas where you can find Jamaicans, Vancouver, you do have Jamaicans there. You have some Jamaicans that are in Houston, LA, yeah. But yeah.
Could Jamaica get a game in? Could Jamaica play in Canada? If we have a game against Canada, would that be played in Canada?
It's a possibility. It's a strong possibility. Not all of Canada's group stage games will be in Canada, but it is a possibility that Jamaica can play a group stage game in Canada. So it's a very strong possibility.
And they could also play, if Mexico is in the group, it's a possibility that they could also play in Mexico. Because the Gold Cup there are games that are going to be played in Mexico, at least one.
Not this Gold Cup, just Canada and US.
And the US, okay.
Just Canada and the US for this Gold Cup. What we know for sure is that the opening game of the Gold Cup will be in LA. So if Jamaica is A2, if Jamaica is ball A2, that means Mexico versus Jamaica in the opening game of the Gold Cup at SoFi Stadium in LA. So we wait to see how that unfolds as well. So that's what we can come from this evening.
All right.
Yeah.
Eagle Republic says FIFA is screwing the CONCACAF Gold Cup by allowing the clubs in the FIFA Club World Cup to be able to pick any 6 players from any club. Secondly, FIFA is giving the clubs priority over country. You want to explain what he's saying right there?
I think the point that he's making is that because the FIFA Club World Cup and the Gold Cup are simultaneous, then basically there's preference to the Club World Cup. So, for an example, Mannings, John Bell is with Seattle Sounders. Seattle Sounders is in the FIFA Club World Cup. So, if he's called by Jamaica, and of course Seattle Sounders is in the FIFA Club World Cup, then John Bell can say, I'm going to play for Seattle in the FIFA Club World Cup. I think that's the point he's getting at. So you do have individuals that their countries are in the Gold Cup, but also their club is participating in the FIFA Club World Cup. So it's going to be interesting to see which player, in terms of how they and what they pick as well. So it's just a compelling summer that lies ahead as well with these competitions. So we'll wait and see. So you have John Bell and Ian Frey. Those are 2 players that are in the FIFA Club World Cup, of course, at Miami, and over John Bell with Seattle. So, yeah, let's see. I'm just going to have to wait and see.
Okay. Okay. All right. So that's what he means. The Hispanic population in America are the biggest supporters of football in the U.S. Then BM says the Gold Cup has never catered to Jamaica. Even the last Gold Cup we played Trinidad in Missouri, which made no sense. We should have played Trinidad in the tri-state area or Florida.
Well, to say never is actually not true. In 2011, we had a group stage games in LA, Miami, and New York, areas that have Jamaican high population, and we actually topped the group with 9 points on that occasion in particular. You go to 2015, when we went to our first Gold Cup final. We played a game in Toronto, which has, of course, Jamaican community. We played a quarterfinal in Baltimore, which has Jamaicans. We played a semi-final in Atlanta, which has Jamaicans as well, and a final in Philly. So to say never, it would not be accurate to say, but I do understand the point you're making in terms of recent tournaments being, a lot of games being on the West Coast. But for me, I look at it as preparation, because we had Gold Cup 2023, a lot of games on the West. We had Copa America last year, a couple of games on the West, and now this game will be on the West. So we're getting used to the movement of different time zones. And, you know, when you think about the World Cup that will take place in 2026, there are countries that won't be able to adjust to it, but we're getting that experience.
All right, so we have a caller. Let me see if I can get this caller on. Caller.
Yes, Mannings, man. How you doing?
Are you hearing?
Simon,
Hold on a sec. Let me make sure that Simon is hearing you. Simon, are you hearing?
Yeah, I'm hearing him.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Perfect. Yeah, so just to note it, Simon, in Orlando, we played 3 games in Orlando where Jamaica played 3 games against North
That was 2021. Yes, that was 2021. Correct. Yes.
That was perfect for a lot of Jamaican fans at that game.
Yeah, and that was done because of COVID as well. That was done because of COVID, and they wanted teams in one venue. Yeah.
But that was perfect, because now it's even more better now if they had to say, okay, we're gonna play all the games in Orlando and Jamaica, because people could have taken the Bright Line. There's a new train, Bright Line, from Miami, come straight to Orlando that runs. So a lot of people to commute from there to come to the game or drive to the game. So I think playing the game in Florida or New York is a both benefit for CONCACAF, but I don't know the reason why they don't want to play the games in those venues. You understand where I come from? Like, those are the better venue. And my next question is that the Unity Cup is a preparation for World Cup qualifiers and Gold Cup. Will the actual players that plays in the Premier League, are they gonna go on vacation, or are they gonna come play Unity Cup and Gold Cup and Unity Cup and World Cup qualifiers? Because you say those are preparations
but
for those 2 tournaments.
Alex,
yeah.
Do you know that questions like those is not for Simon and me, though? Do you realize that? I know you realize, you know, that how can Simon tell you what players are going to be available, Alex? For?
No, I'm not saying the player available. I'm just asking.
That's what I just said. You're asking Simon if the players would be.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking questions, man. Because between me and man, so it's squad job, and people say like 10 local ball and that. The people don't go bust out rumpus and cuss and say, what am I doing at this? When am I playing and so far? I work too much local ball and playing at JPL. You know people don't cuss man. They're gonna cuss.
All right.
You get my come?
So, but the point I'm making though is that the question you have, while it's a very good question, it couldn't be for Simon to answer though, because it's a question about team selection. So if Simon were to sit here and give you team selection, the next call, you would have a problem because you're going to say Simon is picking the team.
No, man. I'm not asking him to pick in the team. I'm not asking to pick the team.
All right. Ask the question again. Ask the question you're asking.
I'm saying, will they be the players that will core players that will play in the last couple of games, like the English guys that play in the English Premier League? Are they going to be a mixture of local and English guys in the JPL and guys in England that played in the into the Unity Cup or for the World Cup qualifiers and the Gold?
But you're you ask the question, Alex. The question you're asking is if there will be a mixture between players from the EPL and the local league or wherever for the Unity Cup, and that if those players will go to the Gold Cup, and when are the players going to get their break? Isn't that the question you're asking?
Yes.
But I'm saying that question is not for Simon. Listen to me, Alex. Here's the issue we have. We ask people who are not in charge of technical and selecting team about team selection. When the people answer just out of their opinion, we same one come and say, you see, at them money I pick the team where the team can't go anywhere. So you have to ask the coach those questions.
But man, basically, the coach did it or the question the boy when they asking them, give them a look forward where he not answer them straightforward, like he not give straightforward answer. Like, why the question me want to ask him why Ravel is not in the team and Ravel is playing? That's the question. Is it because he used to be at Manchester United where him and that person have a relationship, or they didn't have a proper relationship? And why does John Russell not playing in the team? He's one of the most informed strikers, informed midfielders in the last couple.
Okay, so
these are the questions.
Yeah.
Yes, man, come from. These are the questions that I want to ask, because the entire press conference, the coach I give a direct answer, man. I give some nice answer. Which is people want to hear that.
No, but Alex, you are saying that you are not getting direct answers. Other persons, Jason Goon have asked question, and I've never heard him say the quote dilly-dally around him question.
No, me thinking dilly-dally around the question.
Around your question. So what is the last question? All right, let me ask you this. What is the last question you asked the coach in a press conference? No, man.
We're not going to last press conference.
No, man. Listen what I'm asking. The last press conference you went into, what question did you ask the coach?
I asked him if he watch Ravel and how to break down USA team and how USA team play. That's what the question.
So you asked the coach if the coach will watch Ravel.
And I'm saying no. I say no Ravel. Listen, you say no. No of Ravel from Manchester United days, right? Cool. Yes. And Ravel is not playing. Ravel now is playing management.
So hold on. So now the coach did answer your question.
Yeah,
because at the time when you asked the question of the coach, Ravel was not playing.
No, was not playing. So no.
So then you have to wait until how you're sounding is like you asked the coach this question when Ravel was playing and the coach dilly-dallied around you. You asked the coach about has he seen Ravel. He says he knows Ravel and Ravel is not playing. And Ravel was not playing at the time. So how was he going around the question?
coach is around the question to
How
me,
is he
man.
going around that question, though, Alex? Explain it to me.
The question, yeah, man. I'm going around the question.
How is he going around the question?
Because how he not spend time out to watch him call Ravel, right? And by him call Ravel in a management. Why you call the man for all the way down like the way?
But Alex, listen, we are talking about the question. Before Ravel came to the camp, you asked the coach the question at the press conference. At that time, Ravel was not playing. The coach said, the coach said to you, I know Ravel. Ravel is not playing. That's the right answer. After you ask that question, the coach goes and calls Ravel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you have a different question. The question you have now is, now that Ravel is playing, so you have to go and wait until the press conference to ask the coach that, because you don't know that the coach is not going to call him now that he's playing. So how you want Simon to respond to that? Me don't understand.
Press officer, hold on, the Zoom meeting. You know, want to say the people in the Zoom meeting.
So you're a press. You're a part of the press.
Yeah, we're part of the press. I'm telling you, what I want to know me over your management.
No.
Man.
So which press? No, Alex, hold on.
What I want to know me over your management.
Knowing a person don't mean. I know Rob Smith. Is Rob Smith a part?
Me can go create a YouTube channel. I send me a YouTube channel. I create a website. I send me a press.
No,
I'm getting press bag, but I say to the management.
Have mercy, Alex. Me not fight. What I'm saying is though. So what you're saying is that any person who has a YouTube platform is a part of the press that should be invited to the press conference. But let's ask you.
Yeah, I believe so, management. They're still a part of the press. We're talking about the Jamaican.
No, man. So anyone in Jamaica who has an official YouTube platform. So once you go on and you open the Google thing and you get a YouTube platform, you are supposed to have access to the press conference.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right.
You're part of the press. You're part of the press.
I don't think that. I personally. What I am saying. My opinion. You can't give me my opinion. My opinion is that it ought not to be so.
We know, man. We know your opinion. We know your opinion that a long time in the management.
I think.
You know your opinion that long time in the management.
Yeah.
You know what people like me in the press conference. You understand?
I did not say that, boss. I don't control the press conference. I have never invited or not invited anybody.
I press officer Simon. I him run the press conference them. You know, sometimes I come in the management and he give me a chance to answer my question. Them, you know, I'm not gonna tell a lie. But the last one time, he didn't make me to answer the question, and none time I tell I agree today.
He didn't make you answer the question. Alex.
No, you make everybody answer before me, management.
Answer or ask. Come, slow down.
Ask the question before me. Right?
I'm not here because Simon is here and Simon can speak. What I'm saying, Alex, is that so were you the only person who did not get a chance to ask a question?
No,
so,
I'm the only person.
There you go, sir. So that is it. Why you think it's personally you? Because you have stated that even with this coach have asked question. So if you don't get to answer your question, you believe that there's a personal issue. I think
but
yes,
I'm not thinking my personal issue.
So why you bring it up then?
I'm saying that you they let me come in a press conference so we can ask the rightful question then.
So haven't you been in press conference? What I'm saying to you, haven't you been in press conference before and asked questions?
No, man, but management, me have to go through other people to get it, management. Forget the press.
So let me ask you. So what you're saying that what Simon needs to do is all the persons who are on. Because Oshie and Richard says, kiss me teeth, foolishness, bro. You can't make your YouTubers feel like them a press. Just a few, right? So, let's listen to me. So what Simon needs to do now is once he gets a press conference, he gets the link, he gives it to all the YouTubers, and it goes out generally. So anybody who is on YouTube who wants to be in the press conference can be in it. That is how it's supposed to work. In a civilized, in a civilized professional country. Just give it to everybody. So Peso, Gunners Boss, Owen, Rob Simmons, Ocean Richards, Alex, I'm gonna call out Christopher, BM, Jerome 876, CC Sports, Tegat and the Ball, Brown Beer, Conrad Simit, Dre, Eagle Republic. So everybody and every what do you mean? What do you mean then? What do you mean?
Like you have an official YouTube channel where you can you're talking about Jamaica content.
But you say you don't have an official YouTube channel.
I said I could create one, man. I said I could create one in the man.
But listen what I'm saying, Alex. You do not have one, and they still give it to you, and you're still complaining.
No, but man, like say
you just said that. You
don't want to ask the question like say.
Mouth, you said
that anyone come from.
Out of your own mouth, you said that anyone who have an official YouTube channel should be invited. That's what you said. You do not have
do Jamaican content. That do Jamaican content.
You do not have one, but you still get the link, and you still have an issue.
I know me boy a long time, man.
But you just stated the criteria.
We don't have no personal beef for no man CC Sports now. What can I beef me about,
Alex,
man?
Your criteria is the person must have an official YouTube channel. I am saying to you, you do not have one, and they still invite you. It should be like Jaima, the Wise, and those people who don't get invitation like you. That complaining, you should not be, because you get invited without an official YouTube.
Get invited from third party. Because the main source now giving invitation.
So is the third party?
The main source.
Shouldn't that third party suffer some consequences? Seeing that they are giving you.
No, why they should suffer consequences?
So what? Here's what I'm going to ask you now. So just like how somebody gave you the link, I have 151 people right now on this. Should I give all 151 the link?
No.
Why I shouldn't do that?
No.
Why?
Because in an aligned way. No. Because you're in a program.
No. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the press conference. Why shouldn't I give the 151 people the link to the next press conference? Tell me why.
But everybody wants it on the press conference, man.
No. But even whether they want to or not, I don't know. But shouldn't I give all 151 of them the link?
No, man, but me different. But me different.
Hey, listen. You are one of the 151. I believe the other 150 people wiser than you. Why shouldn't I give them?
No. Me different minds, man.
What is different?
But different minds, but I've been around a long time since sliced bread. We've been around a long time, man.
But some of these people, me know Eagle Republic long time on this before you.
No.
I am telling you, on my platform, I have some people that I know. Me know Gunners Boss long time before you.
Man, me depend on the YouTube platform before you even create one channel, man.
Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I am saying. I know Gunners Boss from radio. So should I send the link to Gunners Boss and to Sure Improvement and to Peso?
Yeah, because if they want to come back, remember say they know them from radio, you know. But if they want to come on the press conference, Alex,
press conferences cannot be like anybody who want to go, you give them invitation. Come on, man. You're smarter than that.
Press conferences are exclusive things, right?
There's some exclusivity to having press conferences. Is not everybody get invited to the White House to the press conferences? Isn't that everybody get invited to go and do press conferences?
That's political press conference management.
Alex, not everybody get invited to the press conferences at Manchester United or England. Big up, Naki.
If you apply for the party.
Alex, I told you just pay $10, £10 super sticker to take you down. Him say you have to come down right now.
I come down, please.
All right, yeah, man. Big up yourself. Thank you so much. The man pay for Alex come down. Simon, listen, Alex is out, so you answer because I don't want people to feel like I was defending you. I was trying to get to some point. But what is your take on it? Yeah.
The audio.
Oh, Simon is frozen.
Can you see me now?
Yeah, man, I'm seeing you now. Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
log out and come back in.
No, man, you're all right. I'm seeing and hearing you.
Or saying that. Okay. So what I'm saying is that a press conference is for the press. It's not a town hall hearing. A town hall is where you can have fans, but the press conference is for the press, for the media. So that is how I'll put a full stop to that statement.
Yeah.
It's for the media. Press conference is for the media. A town hall is for fans. So
all right.
So that wraps up that element of things. And
Knockins, Knockins, I talk about if you send the link to him. Knockins, you're in the media. All the press conferences are sent to the media. So if you don't get it, you're not in the media group.
Moya has been in a few press conferences.
Yeah.
Moya has been in.
Yeah. Soldier, you're in Jamaica. You weren't looking for me, Soldier. I see all about the place, man. I take me a picture and their match. If you wanted to find me, all you had to do was to call me, Soldier. You have my number, Soldier. You just call me. You look for me. You just call me. What you think? You just go buck me up, sir? You can't buck me up. Soldier, you're not going to buck me up, you know, Soldier. You understand me? But yeah. But, all right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, man. Yeah, so that is the World Cup, Simon.
Yeah, it's quite an exciting summer that does lie ahead. And when you factor in the 2 World Cup qualifiers before that as well, you're talking about from World Cup qualifying to the end of the Gold Cup. That's potentially speaking 8 matches in 4 weeks. So that shows the activity and how busy we can be. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. Very, very much looking forward to it. And I can't wait. Can't wait at all.
And then you also have the Reggae Girls just played 2 games and they lost. Both of them friendlies against Mexico. A fairly decent team. And the U18s, which was made up of a lot of the girls who played in the U20 qualifiers, they just had a penalty shootout win against Tanzania, I believe. I think they lost to Turkey.
Thailand.
So Thailand, right? Thailand. But they lost to Turkey in their first game.
Tanzania 1-0, Lebanon. So yeah, first game I'll have to. But yeah. I mean, great experience for the young ladies to go to Europe to get this sort of experience. Just a few of them may have another under-20 cycle in them, but for others that were looking into college and a professional route, still bodes well for them. Winning a medal for Jamaica, it's a little feather in their cap from this tour. So, grateful for that. You mentioned the Reggae Girls against Mexico. Mexico has certainly come leaps and bounds. Mexico hasn't been to a World Cup since 2015. So they've put a lot of time, energy into their domestic league, and they're pushing hard for 2027. 4 spots again for CONCACAF and 2 teams to the playoffs. So we'll wait to see how that unfolds. And yeah, at some point next week, we'll get an announcement in relation to the Reggae Girls for the next camp and a potential friendly on the horizon. So we look forward to that. So everybody can look forward to a very busy summer that lies ahead. We have the CONCACAF Under-15 Championship in August as well. So you can say from May till the end of the calendar year, it's busy when it comes to the national team. So we're eagerly looking forward to it and can't wait for what lies ahead.
Yep. Yeah, man. All right. Listen, as usual, and like I know you look like you're just coming from the barber, but as usual, always good having you on. I don't know if anyone else have any other question.
Just looking
for you. But I think it is time that the Gold Cup be won by somebody else, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think
it's a 10-year anniversary. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's time. It's just USA and Mexico. I think Canada won.
Canada's won in 2000. So yeah, only US, Mexico, and Canada have won the Gold Cup itself. This is also the 10-year anniversary of us getting to our first Gold Cup final, 2015. So it'll be a nice way to cap off with a trophy in our cabinet. So yeah, we'll certainly do our best in the summer for sure. So yeah, US, Canada, Mexico, the only teams that have won the Gold Cup to date. Hopefully we can be able to add to that tally as well this summer on the west coast of USA and Canada.
Awesome. All right, we have the presser 433 presser on the line. Nitro says Suriname winning the Gold Cup. Which one is the Gold Cup? There's a Gold Cup down in Australia now. Is what? Is Gold Cup or what? Rugby or something like that? I don't Australia. I don't know. But presser, welcome to the show. Good afternoon.
Yeah, they are actually Chelsea again. I'm just score. But I have a question to Simon. Simon, afternoon. Question in terms of the Gold Cup competition, right? Like if somebody want to acquire like a press pass for the Gold Cup, like which avenue they would have to take? Like is that like they have to email like CONCACAF or like JFF or something like that?
No, you go through CONCACAF Media Hub. So you go on Google, type in CONCACAF Media Hub, you register. And once you register, you're going to get an email. In the email, you click the link. And once you click on that link, you put your registration. You have to put the website of your media host. You have to put your name. And you also need a photo ID of your particular media host as well. And once those things are submitted, then that will be sent to CONCACAF for approval.
What's CONCACAF Media Hub?
Yes, CONCACAF Media Hub.
All right, then. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Yes, you need a physical ID for the company, media entity you work for. Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
So you're registered. You have to be registered, like a registered entity.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. But if I too much problem, then we're not going to.
Yeah, man, you can try though.
But which avenue that would have to take though? Like it have to be a registered business.
Yes.
Yeah.
433presser.com. Yeah.
Okay. All right then.
433presser.com. All right. Yeah, man. All right. Big up yourself, Presser. Yeah, man. All right. Simon.
Yes, thank you very much for having me, Mannings. Of course, do your best to get a bit of a rest before 6 o'clock. And then, we start the planning.
We're going to watch. There's an interesting game out by Draxall today. Mount Pleasant versus Racing, and you know that the Mount Pleasant team have acquired the services of 3 players who were formerly at Real Hope. Clifford, the number 7, who is the winger. Jedi Johnson, I think his name, or Johnson JD, I think his name is, the midfielder. So, I want to see if there will be if they will make their debut at home today at Draxall. So I want to see what the team will look like. So I'll be heading out there, and then when I get back, I will. Yeah.
All right, no problem. We can touch base in the evening. No problem. We will connect. Sounds good.
Yeah. So that's interesting. You know that Sean McFarlane, who they had signed, he was out ill. He's back. Look like he's back as well. Topi. I gave Topi the last time I saw him a very hard time, but I will say to people, Jamai Topi looks like the player he is when he just came onto the scene. I mean, he has shed a lot of weight. You can see that he's working really, really hard. And I think, once he's in good health, a lot is expected of him. So going out there to watch them today. Yeah, man. But bless up. Thank you. I hope you enjoy that wonderful 3-0 victory for the great Arsenal. 2 superb free kick and a good goal by Merino. As we take a 3-0 lead to Madrid. People are still doubting us. I think Leon Bailey would have helped Aston Villa yesterday, and I felt like they never had anyone out on the flank like him, and I think he would have made a difference in that game yesterday as an attacking threat, but he wasn't there, and they suffered a 3-1 defeat away. But what are your thoughts on the Champions League?
Very, very pulsating, very exciting. Of course, disappointing with the Aston Villa result yesterday, but it's really getting down to the wire with certain things. Very impressed with Arsenal and their display a couple of days ago, and going to the Bernabeu. If it was 3-1, I would say there would be a chance for for Real. But you know, you go in with a clean sheet, you score one, they need 5. So I do think the ball is firmly in your favor. For me, the ideal final would be Aston Villa Arsenal. I would love to have that final. Aston Villa Arsenal would be a wonderful final.
The away
That is
goal,
what my
I thought they had removed the away goal in the Champions League.
It is removed, which is why that Real Madrid would need 5, because if they scored 4, it would go to extra time. So that is the reason why Real Madrid would need 5.
Okay. That's what I mean. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I know where your heart would be, but if Aston Villa is in the final, then I'm going for my fellow Jamaican. So, but yeah, Aston Villa.
Well,
Arsenal final.
Aston Villa, they just never look like they. Yeah, because the next game that we would play is the winners of the Aston Villa PSG game. So that would be our semi-final pairing. So we won't be able to meet them in the final, anyways. Because we will defeat. Like, because we defeated PSG in the group stages, and we have defeated Aston Villa this season. So I don't fear either of them. You know, the team that I think would give us some issues is if we were to meet Inter Milan in the final, because I think like Inter Milan, you know, they can one of those low block kind of a team that Arsenal normally struggles against. I think that would be our problem. Inter Milan would be like the problem we have. Yeah. I mean, what do you mean it's not the same PSG team? We play the same PSG team at the Emirates. What are you talking about? With Dembele? Yeah, man. But Simon, bless up, you know, enjoy the rest of your day, and you know, we'll talk. Yeah, man. All right.
Thanks. Same to you, boss. Yeah, man. Cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's the same PSG team, man. What are you talking about? But let me just say this, right? Because I need to get to the domestic player dilemma. Listen, this is a warning to the domestic players. Didn't we play PSG at the Emirates? Could I swear that we played them 2 times? Defeated them over there. They had Barcola, yeah. That number 7 wasn't there. And Dembele didn't play in the first game, but I think Dembele played in the second game. Didn't we play PSG 2 times? Well, listen, all of you talking about hold on, corn chicken before them, hatch and blah, blah, blah. All of you people talking. Oh, yeah, once. Yeah, thanks, Jason Guna. All of you talking, except for the Arsenal fans, never had Arsenal winning this game or having any chance. So, me not about to talk to Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City fans. Leave this conversation to Arsenal fans. Behave on yourself. Like you're a fan club. Easy on yourself. But people, domestic players, let me just talk a little bit about it. The domestic players, let me say this to you. I think you need to, domestic players, watch on yourself more and more. Remember when Jamaica at the national level started bringing in players from England, you know, it was okay because it was like 3, 4, just a few, and people thought over time, more and more started coming, and a lot of the domestic players weren't able to get into the national team. I want you to watch something in the league. The league is bringing in more and more players from overseas. More and more players. All the clubs are doing it. Do you realize how many players from overseas? Very good for the league. So let me help you, because I want you to realize this, domestic players. When these players come to Jamaica, because they are getting paid and they weren't paid a whole lot where they're coming from, one, they are hungry because they want to make a difference and change their attitude, behavior, and all of those things are top-notch. And if you don't begin
to be professional, a lot of your domestic players are going to find yourself without a team. I am telling you, because clubs are going overseas for players to play in the local league, and they are coming in with better attitudes. A lot of you need to fix your attitude. Come off for the weeds. Come off for the specials. Come off for the womanizing thing. Come off for the bad attitude thing. Come off for the come down. The bleachers, come down. That's what they say. Bleachers, you know, come down now. Weed smokers, you know, come down now. Rum drinkers, you know, come down now. Bad attitude players, you know, come down now. Those days are done in the league. This is my warning to you. Time for you to start behave professional on and off the field. This going out, go party and tired of them thing there, it not gonna work. You see how many players from overseas Cavaliers have? Mount Pleasant have? Mobile United have? And in the summer, the amount of players that are like you have players from Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines and St. Lucia who are begging to come to Jamaica to play in the league. Humble Lion have. You need to get in the act together, because if you don't feel like some man's man, I'm going to come for here and talk about send back the player to my friend and make we use the local players them. You don't have no chance. Step up on the act and on the game. You don't have no chance now to ensure that these clubs don't need to go overseas to find players. Yeah, man, Jeremy, to go leave them, man, because them too hard years. Weed smokers, you know, come down. No, see it? And Mr. Speeder tell me, you think you don't know what I want? Waterhouse have two. Portmore have. Almost every single team, the top teams, them have players from overseas. You see the signs are clear. The signs are clear. Look at the youth who at Waterhouse. Big difference. Mullines have a goalkeeper from St. Lucia. Cavaliers have a goalkeeper from St. Lucia. Mobile have a goalkeeper from overseas. What I talk about? Act together. This heap of weed thing, turn up at training late. All of these things. Yeah, man, we need professionalism in the football. And a lot of these local players, listen, all of this go foreign, go play some local Bush League when the league are going. All of them look at Corner League. All of them look at business, house business. No, we get where they don't get. I don't know what they don't get, but whatever they don't get, that you know, get if you don't fix, fix, act. Get where they don't get. I don't know what they don't get, but whatever they don't get cook. Cook the duck. I think I cook the duck. They get cooking. Get cook like the duck. Yeah, them love Uptown Mondays and them special more. Yeah, man. Serious thing. So what they said, the duck get caught. When the duck get corn. Duck get corn. When the duck get pluck. When the duck get water. I cook, the duck get cooked, man. Your duck get cooked. Anyway, you hear about that yet? Yeah. There is a limit on how much players the team can have. And how do we treat CARICOM nationals? What they don't get, Soldier? What they don't get? What do they say? When all people say you're going to get what they don't get, what do I mean? What did they don't get? Oh, listen to the rule, people. Each team can play 6 overseas players on each match day, you know. What that mean, you know? You can have more than 6 in your squad, but only use 6 match day. I told Suriname youth there, Jamaica play, you know. You think more now come? Remember, we had a youth from Turks and Caicos, you know. Calvin of dual citizenship in a boss. Right? The duck get land. Duckland. The duck get land, people. Duckland. Simple put. Thank you, Mr. Speed. Nobody don't know what the duck get, man. We just hear a grandmother say you get what the duck get, and nobody don't know what the duck get. We don't even know which duck the grandmother that talk about. We just hear it and just repeat it. Only Duckland can tell what the duck get. Yeah. If the JPL are eliminating the local players, no, I know the JPL are eliminating the players. Are the players that eliminate themselves? Melshire, are the players them? The players are eliminating themselves. How you can be a professional footballer and you constantly smoke weed and I drink special. Madness. You party, you come training, you're tired. You play corner league, you get hurt and injured. And then you come to your club and expect your club to take care of you. You go find go play in a middle of season and all of them things there. Come on, man. It need to cut out full professionalism because part of the league standards being raised is the players' behaviors on and off the field. No, but Rob, don't tell me that Steph Curry don't smoke, boss. LeBron James don't smoke, boss. See it? Yeah, there's a big belly in the league. Done. That's what I'm saying, Melcher. The players need to be more. You understand me? And boss, I can't say I have seen NBA players smoking, boss. I don't live where they live. But what I know is that it's amazing how many of these players them have the cup and the thing in them hand. All kind of mix up. It's amazing. Yes, you see. I can't recall LeBron playing some pickup basketball in some local league somewhere and Steph and them man there. Baddest big belly baller, Ali Rose from Overview, aka Roman Milk. Boss, them days are done. Them days a man with big belly are playing a league. Done. Them days are done, boss. Me I tell you that. Them days are not coming to training and playing. Done in the league. You see how them tier 2 team there with them have players where play when I train. I waste time. They better stay down at tier 2 and better come into the Premier League. You see how them man we are bleach. Like, me don't know no NBA player we are bleach. Yeah, me don't know no NBA player we are bleach. Them, boss, if some of them don't look like footballer, boss. You look on some of them on them foot, boss. Them on them foot white. You understand me? Like my grandmother used to say, Lord Jesus and peace, you're white like a pelican. I think it was a pelican, but she's a pelican, but a pelican. You understand what I mean? Them on them white. Them on they can't train properly, boss. As them get a little touch, them have to come off during training. And the coach is them. The coach is them. And this is what I get it. We need higher standard. We need higher standard from the coaches. Some of them will never get cut from on the squad. Them start rub. When you rub them name off of the squad. Quick and fast. That is just a ball player that the king of bleaching look like it free pan and ask. Mr. Tapper. Mr. Tapper, me need you to help me with this. You see, any man, a bleach boss, listen, you want to stop bleaching? Say, anyone who is found to be bleaching as part of the club's professional conduct, we are going to cut your salary by 25% in the first instant and 50 in the second instant. No man now bleach. Every man paint themselves when they come training black. Every man buy a tin of black paint. Me I tell you that. No matter how good them be Tapper. Yeah. You don't see nobody up a speed up. Me not see nobody at speed side of bleach. Tell me one person at speed side of bleach. Me don't know. Me not see no bleach up at speed. Anything you want the Jamaican baller them to do, just take it. Just start take it out of them match fee. They look at Trini youth. No, man, they look at Trini youth. Nah, bleach, man. Where's this man say? Because hey, Duckland, Mr. Speed then at the Mr. Speed then at the comment section. But yeah, talk about the man. No, man, him now bleach, man. Sammy Sosa is the only Dominican Republic person I know bleach his skin. Yeah, man. Cut out this bleaching madness, man. Man, it don't look good, man. Don't look good. Don't look good, man. Don't look good. I've been watching the Premier League and me see all man like Sadio Mane, boss. Yeah, Sadio Mane, them people they from there, so them have a different level of blackness, boss. And them man no bleach. Chief Coyote or same name. Them man no bleach when they used to play for and Newcastle used to play for the guy that he will all end up dying. Bleaching. So we not black like them people that we not bleach, man. Come on, man. So here's the thing I know. Here's what I want the league to do right now. Here's what I want the league to do. Hey, more like one thing we don't understand with Jamaica. Is when Jamaica national senior men's team play. Every single time almost Jamaica play at Jamaica, there is going to be Jadco doing drug testing. Almost every time. That has been my almost every single time. Right? One more I know is that Jadco can turn up at some of them a football game and check the level of all marijuana and other substance in them. And that Jadco video just turn up at some of them a football game and do some drugs test. Jadco, you're wrong. But you check out the athlete them. Check out the football of them. When the man up them standard, professional thing we are deal with. Professional thing we are dealing with. We need Jadco to start turn up at some of the game them and do some drug testing Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Jadko. If them using it for medical purposes, them supposed to have proper documentation. Remember, there is right. She said Jad could be Jad could be broke in a month, but then how them all that turn up in the national team a play? No, them can't do it a random, random thing. Them need to do it because if the players them know that Jad could go and turn up there, them will stop. Them will stop. And we need to challenge them and lift the standard. And not just the clubs them need to lift the standard. The players them need to get professional. We soon talk about the payment part, but players don't want to be unprofessional and get professional pay. It can't work. You can't be unprofessional and a command professional salaries. It can't work. You cannot. I don't know which part you don't agree with Duckland. Anyways, yeah. All right. Me need to touch on this part, Well, think they win yesterday, 1-0 over Portmore United. Yeah. Cavaliers. Yes, people. Yes, you want it. Like, at least every team should have some random tests at least once for the season from Jadco. Every single team. And we need to get a sponsor for that. So the players them know so they don't joke none of this. A serious league this. And everything in the car, maybe a man can still, smoke him spliff. Because maybe some do it for religious reasons. But it must be up to a certain level. They check all the alcohol intake of them a player, yeah? Jesus and peace. The money, let me tell you this, man. Some of them money, me I tell you this. If you check inside of them money, me I tell you, the whole Rare Nephew company operate from them inside the amount of rum with them drink. No joke. All right. Hey, let me just get to this now. And then we're going to close because we have around people. Oh my God. Not really remember. 93 likes, no, sir. No, sir. No, sir. 93 likes. Come on, people. A long time I see all J. Ross him on the thing. Big up yourself. Fabian, big up yourself. People, hit the like button. We get it to 100 likes. Because this, we need 7 more to 100. And yeah. One random test. I agree with your Eagle Republic. So, I'm not making. No, man. You may have a Rastafarian in the league. You may have a Rastafarian. I'm not making any. No. Oh, AM Henry. Oh, you could say me and make excuse of me and say they will test them for them thing there. I am saying though that you may have one person who from medicinal or religious practices. You may have, because you may have people who have Rastafarian beliefs in the league. I would not put it past a person in Jamaica of all the players in the league that you'd probably find 1 or 2 with Rastafarian who actually go to like them Bobo Hill and them thing there. You have people like that, man. Because remember, we have always had Rastafarian. You have 5 that was in the league one time. You had Noah and Latiply and them people in the league, man. Yeah. Yeah. But here's the next thing now that I need to big up AM Henry. Blessings every time. All right. You and Katie always here, supporting the I Am Sure Sports as two ladies. And I appreciate that. All right. No. All right, Mr. Speed says, if you smoke, it's hard to keep up with non-smokers. It is better for the players to eat the cake. Which cake? Which cake? Oh, which cake you thought now, Mr. Speed? What, Black Forest? Eh? Black Forest? So, players, if you're going to drink, yeah. If you're going to drink rum, just eat rum cake, don't drink. Mr. Speedy, what kind of cake you talk about? Eh? Eh? No, sir. We want to know what kind of cake this. You said if you smoke, it's hard to keep up with non-smokers, right? Because there's a lot to do with your breathing, right? So totally agree. All right. Which cake you talk about though? Rum, Black Forest or rum cake? Yeah. Yeah. It means then, people, that smoking in and of itself is a problem in terms of your breathing. You understand? Yeah. So you don't want them say when them bleach, them get girls. Me don't know about that, Fresh God. Me don't know about that. Girl rush man because them a bleach. Me don't know about that, boss. Me don't agree with that, Fresh God. But listen, coaches, and mean, let me just say this, coaches, you know, because we're going to close shortly. But we have had too many competition. As of recent, the U20 girls, U17 girls, U17 boys, U20 boys, all of these teams have not qualified, and we're not hearing from the coaches. So here's the thing, like, if these teams had qualifies, all of these coaches would have made themselves available. So technical committee chairman, a recommendation is, and it does not have to be on YouTube. So I'm not saying that these coaches need to come on YouTube and talk to YouTube content creators. What I am saying is that we cannot have so many competitions, and when they are done, the team has failed, and we don't hear from the coaches. That include, we can go back as far as Marcel Gill. We can call like Jerome Waite. We can go Meron Garden. We can go up to recent Lee Craft Letman. Up to recent Altiman Freddie Butler. We can go as recent as those things. Who again am I missing out? Any Xavier Gilbert. We had a team with Vassar Reynolds and Peart, all of these guys, and I'm saying that. Why is it, and this is my question, why is it so difficult that if we have a failure, the coaches can't talk to the people? Or is it that they are and I'm not hearing them? No. The male under 17 team, I must say, that I'm disappointed because I expected the higher standard from the U17 male team. I expected by now that would have heard. So I'm calling on the coaches. Make yourself available. You don't have to talk to management, but you need to talk to somebody. Now, this idea that world standard is that people don't talk. Listen, we don't follow it, so we don't know. We do not follow it, so we don't know. A lot of these people talk. Their releases and stuff, and their questions. In fact, so when we come and say across the world, this don't happen, you don't have any evidence to prove that it doesn't. It is not as publicized as the senior teams. But I can tell you that I have interacted with persons who have been involved at the highest level. Right? Yeah. And they say when they didn't qualify for a tournament, they did an interview when they returned. Now, a lot of people don't know because they don't follow youth football. There's not a lot, especially like under 17. So I am saying not because we don't see it on Talk Sports and Sky Sports and ESPN and BBC. Do not say that the coach of the American under 17 and stuff. Do not. You don't have proof of that. It don't matter. You don't have to have a press conference. Sir. They come out and talk, the man. I am telling you, and I'm going to have the person on my program in June to tell you the standards that they have there, that they come out and talk, boss. So if they don't want, if the rule is you don't have to talk to people, don't talk to people who are not gonna say nothing. Just don't talk, don't do no press conference, don't talk, don't do no post, no pre, no talk, nothing, and nobody don't follow the team them, and nobody must know nothing because it is up to the coaches. Don't make any sense. Oh, I'm going to take this last one. I see. I don't know if this is in agreement or disagreement with me. Someone who believes that their employer is their master can be described as having a submissive or servile attitude towards their work relationship. So, when a wife submits to her husband, right, she treats him. A Bible me I deal with enough. So first thing, if you're going to talk about this idea of use of the word master, if we're going to talk about that, a Bible me I talk about. So if you can tell me that the Bible is wrong, then we can't have no discussion. Then if the Bible is right, me I use the word right in there. So if this is about the scripture that I read from the Bible, my boss, regardless of what you believe, me believe that what is written in it is right. If you believe that it is wrong, then we can have the argument because you believe it's wrong, I believe it's right. But what I tell you, the word master, it says submit to your masters. It's not talking about enslavement of people. The thing with black people is that when we hear word master, we think about, oh, slave people used to treat with good. Having a master, somebody work for me. Having them work for me don't mean I treat them bad. I'm paying them, but I am boss over them because them work for me. Them not me and them boss. So what is the difference between me and your boss? Man work on construction side, them have a boss. So not, hey, listen, man. Me don't know if you agree or disagree with me, but now come tell me now. Somebody tell me, hey, Cho, actually, man, all right. I can read some more now. You're gonna read some more. All right, we're gonna read some more, cause I'm gonna read some more, and I'm gonna be calm on this. People, few more minutes. We're gonna read. Planet 41. A long time I see them money and money them return. All right. So, we don't really want, no man, we don't really want to get into first thing. You see, whenever we use in Bible, what we have in English of the meaning of word, we have to understand that in the original Greek, it's not the same idea many times that the word carries. So when you translate a word from either the Hebrew or the Greek, oftentimes the essence of the meaning of the word is lost because they try to find the word that closest compared to it from the Greek or from the Hebrew. All right? So when the word the Bible uses like master in it to say, for example, in servants, be subject to your masters with all respect, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the unjust, right? That's what it says, right? All right. Ephesians 6 verse 1. With respect and fear and with sincerity of your heart, just as you'd obey Christ. It speaks about that. In everything, and do it not only when their eyes is on you, but to curry their favor, but with sincerity of heart and reverence. So it's teaching people how to operate in the workplace. So when you're in the workplace and someone is over you, when you're at school, because that's what it is teaching, boss. What happened is that it is saying that this is how you are supposed to operate. If you call yourself a follower of Christ, you have to operate in a level of humility, because even your master, your Lord, humbled himself unto death. So what do you do when someone is treating you bad, right? You don't be rude and disrespectful. Blessed are you when men persecute you and do all and speak all manner of evil against you. That's what the scripture is teaching. So it speaks about that, about master and slave in that context. It's not talking about when people go Africa and take black people and work them and don't pay them. That's not, we not talk about that. To my sons, I'm a master, a loving and caring one over my son and my family boss. I'm the head. We lead together, but ultimately, we're not talking about mutual respect and collaboration and share. We weren't discussing that. We never discussed that, boss. You have to come with something we not discuss. We're discussing the use of the word master. CC same have no master, boss. That we are talking about. So we are going to, because anybody named master is a slave driver. That's what we are talking about. That was the argument with CC, boss. Like we stick to that. And that we are talking about. And that's wrong. Having somebody who is called master don't mean that there is no mutual. Isn't his boss his master? So what is the difference between a boss and a master? Can somebody be a good master? Because anybody named master is a slave driver or a slave master. But it's not time. You know hear on man a karate movie. In them time they talk about master. Because them teach them things. Because one of the meanings of master is teacher, boss. That is why you need to go back and look at the original word. But some of you are like if I believe like some of you, I would have nothing to ever do with anything English, seeing that they enslaved and they were evil masters. So as long as some of you, who force you before nobody now force you. You come here to have a different discussion. We right? Hey, all on we have master's degree. On a slave, a slave and enslaved people, that's why I have master's degree. I read a Bible scripture and this one challenge me. That me I try to get people into my thinking. What kind of nonsense that you talk before the game? Ease yourself. And go follow the conversation. Why the person who CC works for, that CC cannot get up and walk out Why is that person not a master? Why is he a boss and not a master? Yeah, man. Yeah, not even masters. All I know we have masters bedroom and a slave driver. All I know what Tiger Woods in the Masters Golf Tournament and a slave driver. So if he's at, who is the employer and who is the employer? So tell him to go to work. And when him hear about manager, tell him say, yo, you're not a manager. You just employ me. Stop that nonsense. I mean, El Mexi. When the man said, the master, what him talking about? The person who teach him and raised him and grow him up to be the person he's at. What is this man? What is this man coming in the chat for chat nonsense, man? Yeah, no, say, hey, sure. I'm a friend, you know. But employer. No man no manage me. Oh, you come tell me to call man manager. No, me have no manager. Me have my own manager. So people want to yeah, you're not head of no house. So you're the head of your house? How you say you're the head? You're head of nobody? No, stop chatting nonsense about supervisor works as well. Master, boss, superior. So how you gonna call somebody? Can somebody be a superior? Me not like that, boss. I read a Bible verse when Cece and I were talking. You said that me I try to get people to believe what me believe. And me never try to get Cece to believe that. So I don't know how you get to that part of the conversation. Now you say me like master but not manager. Me I go with you. I'm being sarcastic with you. Because you some of them when I say them wear the pants. That's worse than saying somebody's master. Because a master also constitutes the idea of teaching. That is why people have mentors. A mentor in our time is what some... Anyways, right you know, I'm here get ready to go on match. I'm on presenter. Thank you very much. Hey, the man, you look like you have a master's. You look like you have a master's, you know. So people, so should people have master's bedroom? Should you have a master's should anything be called master's degree? What does master, when you have a master's degree, what does it mean? I'm telling you, people don't realize how mentally enslaved they are. Again, when you take words in the Bible when we are talking about, you have to always look at what it means in the original context and the Greek. When you think master, Jesus Christ said, for example, he's Lord and teacher. That is the word master. So a person who teaches you is considered a master boss. You are taking it that if somebody is a master, them is a slave driver. Where you're wrong. You're taking things out. Yeah. Me don't want nobody tell me about no master chef. Or no chess master. Yeah, no more master's bedroom. We're going to start calling it slave bedroom. So, Bruce Anglin, let me ask you this. When a person says, right? When a person, so in some, like the Tibetan, they have masters. We in our Western culture use the word mentor. Do you believe when they use that, they are saying the person who they call master is a slave driver? Me just read it for you, boss. I just read it for you. In the context of work, that is what the Bible is speaking about, boss. So, Bruce Anglin, are you a servant? So when we call people servers at restaurants, are they servants? Think about that. Who is a servant? Who is a servant? So, can people be servants? So, I am a servant. I am a servant. So, the person who I serve is what? We're going to pick up on this. Mindset, big up yourself. Mindset, big up yourself. Hey, but seriously, I will get myself ready. Bruce Anglin, big up yourself, you know. Before the kill. Big up yourself. The man, big up yourself, you know. Like, you one thing with Jamaica, we'll tell you this thing with us. I have work to do. Yeah, man, I'm always working, you know. I must do the work of those he that has sent me, you know. I'm a servant, you know. The Most High God is my master, you know. And from him I get my reward, you know. In my household, I'm a servant leader, you know. I seek to serve my family. Because you know, for me to be the greatest amongst all, I must be the servant of all. So I don't seek to lead by ruling, I seek to lead by serving. So that makes me a servant to all. It don't mean that I'm nobody's slave. So I will say it again. I have a mentor who teaches me things. In the original understanding of the word from the Greek, it is the same thing. So not because we had slave masters who dealt with us unjustly, or our farmer generation unjustly, means that for someone to say master means that it is about unjustly dealing with people, and it makes you a slave driver or a slave trader. We have to move away from that, boss. We have to move away from that idea. We have to move away from that idea and broaden our perspective. Thank you. God is my master, I'm his servant. So again, even the word teacher is one of the words that translate in the original context to what master mean from the Greek. Get that? That is why in some of those karate Shaolin movies, you will hear the student calling the person who raised them master. But it is context, Andre. So they used to have hey, oh, gee, you know it's a good one? In our school context, they have all headmaster. The Jamaican them know a bun we bun a headmaster. A bun we bun a headmaster. We don't know more headmaster. And then them go call themselves King's Council. Casey. Jamaica easy, you know. People, bless up for themselves. It was such a good show, man. It was such a good show. It was such a good show. It was so good being with you today on this show. Remember, hit the like button. You understand me? Share the content with someone else and join us again tomorrow for more from I Am Sure Sports. We're going out to see if we can catch a piece of the game out by Jacksall. Hopefully, you know, make some phone calls and see if we can arrange some things and, you know, let you know. Yeah. So you try to say Charlene Master. Yeah. I am Master One. You try to diss the Charlene Master now. Hey. I'm going to defeat you with the screen style. You try to test me with the crane. I will give you the lion fist. If you beat me, then I will go and get my master. Hey, big up. Hey. Yeah, man. Marlon, you got the boat? Yeah, man. We're try to see if we can make a move out there, you know. You know, all me stay till the meet. That man probably on the way and I'll get on a phone call. And then we have to head up our meeting, but I'm going to have all intentions of being there. Bless up the people, you know. Much love and peace and grace to every single one of you. Don't look lad. We're gonna do a kung fu movie. when the man don't fight. Like how them used to that. Yeah, man, when that kung fu movie, man, are the sweetest that man. I tell him, man, get all a kick out, man. I tell him, man. 10 minutes after the man a twist and a turning on. That time I'm excited to go out of it. Big up yourself. Big up to Titchfield High School out of Portland. School of Mr. Rudolph speed to, you know. Yeah, man, they won school challenge quiz. I think the first time since 1987 or somewhere there. Big them up, you know, because they have been into a few, I don't know, but they have been into a few finals and things. So big up to Titchfield. Job well done. You understand me? Look out because you know, maybe some of your quiz people will get recruited to other schools who want to win school challenge quiz. I wonder if the quota thing work for the school challenge quiz. I am Minds Man. This is I Am Sure Sports, and as usual, it gets to this time of the show, we say we are over and we are out of here.